We have information every Tuesday here on FYI through our Care for Kids segment. We're talking about adoption, we're talking about foster care, and Neil Alberto is back with us from Catholic Social Services. They've been around for 75 years helping families in the greater Hazelton area. So Neil, thanks for joining us back here as we explore and educate our viewers about foster and adoption.
Thank you again for this opportunity. And November is actually National Adoption Month,
Okay.
so numerous activities to promote that and at least, push understanding on that whole issue of adoption.
Right. This week, we're going to focus our attention on the statewide network, and that is to focus our attention on children who are not infants, but children out there who are a little bit older, not necessarily the majority of people looking to adopt an older child, but they're out there and they do need loving homes.
Oh, absolutely. We've been part of the statewide adoption network since its inception during the Casey administration, so actually going back to 1994. And the whole idea behind that, the Pennsylvania Statewide Adoption and Permanency Network, was to try to move kids who were stuck basically in the foster care system and get them into more permanent homes. What we're seeing now, though, are definitely the need for homes for older children. And it could be, and maybe some special needs as well, but it could be anywhere from 10 to 16, 17, and 18. And you may think, why that, age when they're older, but we're looking at a permanent home for a child, a place for that child once they maybe do graduate that they could come back to and call home.
Okay, so you look at this process and you have people come in if they have any questions about this. Like, what is the process for our viewers out there who want information and think, maybe I could provide a home for an older child?
We would encourage a family to call, come and sit through an orientation process, and we go over all of the qualifications that a family or an individual would need. This is a little bit different than our infant program because a single person could actually adopt through this program. And, again, we talk about the types of children that are available, the requirements for families, everything that they would need to go through. There are specific hours of training that a family would need to go through before they're actually approved as what we call a resource family. And once all of that is completed and their study is approved, their profile, family profile, then we begin the process of trying to locate a child within the system. Or at the same time, those families could be potential foster parents because a lot of adoptions actually take place through foster care. If a child is placed in that home through foster care, 9 times out of 10, if the goal is moving towards adoption, they'll approach that that family and say, would you consider adopting this child?
All right. Lots of information on foster and adoption. Next week, we're going to focus on, maybe it's not mom and dad who want to adopt, but we see a lot of grandparents who are becoming the providers of their grandchildren. That's next week here on FYI Care for Kids.